Hello, hello, hello. Crafty Chris here with another Scrap Your Scrap Thursday night. Tonight we're going to make two layouts using these strips. I have this container. You've probably seen it before in my other videos. They're Tim Hortons coffee container, and this is where I put all my strips of one inch to 2 inch. And here, the bottom, I put anything over 6 inches and up to 1 inch in width. And so I've just pulled out a bunch of colors to do a couple of different layouts. So this one, I had leftover squares that I really enjoyed, so I want to make a layout using those squares. And this one, I just pulled out some strips because I'm going to do some tearing. So I think I'll start with that one first. Whoops. I'll just make sure I don't get those messed up. Get them out of the way there. Okay, so my desk is full of things, so I have a small area to work with today. All right, so I was thinking spring, and I just pulled out random pieces of paper that I felt kind of gave me that spring look. So I've got some greens, and I've got some beiges, or yellowy beiges. I have whitish beige. I've got pinks, greens again, kind of an orangey pink, a little more of that off-white, and yellowy beige, pink, pink, and this purple I'm not sure I'm going to use, but we'll see what happens. So I'm just going to lay these out, and I'm going to try in my head to think of dark to light in their order process. So that to me kind of feels like light. This would feel like dark at the bottom, except I have this that has quite a bit of texture. So I'm just wondering if it isn't sort of something like this, or I could put this and that. Sort of like dark or darkish to lightish. And that maybe is still not going to be good there. So we're going to put it there. Now I'm going to pick up some beiges, because beiges are always good to mute things, and I'm going to go in the opposite. So I'm going to have the lights at the bottom. This is lighter than that. And I'm just kind of laying out, this is probably darkest up there. That's next to that, and then that, and I'm just kind of playing with them a little bit. Because I'm going to be tearing the edges, so I need to know that I'm going to get most of the colors in. And then dark to light again with the greens. So we're going to start down here with this. Now I stayed away from plain paper, if you've noticed. I'm just going to put my auto focus on, because there we go. All right. But this one has a pattern on it because it's been embossed. So I'm going to still live with that. And I'm just going to kind of spread these guys out. You know what? I think I'm going to go dark to light again. Something like that. Okay, so this is my thinking. The colors are going together fairly well. So I'm going to start off, and I want the focus to be on the pinks. So the pinks are going to be the thing that when I'm ripping, I'm really trying to tear them with a small bit of white. And I think I'll get a 12-inch ruler, because that will help me tear. And I'm just tearing straight across. So I'm giving myself about 1/4 of an inch. And I'm pulling towards me, which will leave a bit of a rough edge. And of course, we'll play it up a little bit more as we move along. So I'm just pulling the paper away, and yeah, I'm leaving big chunks there, but we're going to minimize those chunks when we finish it off. So let me just pull these. Okay, So I don't want this big chunky looking look. I want more of a straight edge, but I want to see the white tear on it. So I am still pulling towards me on the right hand side just to get rid of some of that chunky looking bulky tear. So I'll just do that quickly. There we go. So you know that it's a hand tear. It's not like you didn't sort of cut it. And my fingernails are very dull right now because they've all broken off. I've been doing a lot of mixed media and it's hard on my fingernails because I don't wear gloves, which is my own fault. Okay, so then we've got something that looks, this is a little too straight. There we go. So I have something that looks like that, and you can see the white edge of the tear. Now you could go in and use some ink to manipulate that, but I think I just want it to have its own life. So I'm just going to shift these up a little, and I'm going to do the same thing on my top edge of this one. And this time I think I'm just going to tear it with my hand. Another way you could do this is to use a distress tool that has a razor blade on it, and we'll just kind of curl up the edge. But I kind of like the tear look to it. So that's why I thought I would make that the technique for this layout. Okay, there we go. So that's nicely torn. And where's my other, what I'm calling pink? And I'm doing all the top edges for now. Some papers tear easier than others. All right, and there we go. And then our last one, I'm going to not tear. I'm just going to leave as is because I don't want a torn edge on the top edge. Now I am going to leave a border around, so I'm going to be cutting these down once I've got them all torn. Maybe, let's do it while we go. So I'm going to take, I want to have like 1/4 of an inch, so I'm going to take a 1/2 inch. These are all 12-inch papers. And I'm going to take put my thing right on camera, and this at the edge of the cutter here is approximately 1/2 inch on this particular cutter. So I'm just going to take that 1/2 inch, and I'm not going to do it to every piece until I figure out how much I need of each piece. So I'm just going to, as I go, I'm going to take that 1/2 inch off. Okay. And as you saw, I just decided that I was going to go from dark to light, light to dark, and dark to light again. You know, you could have gone the other way. It wouldn't have made any difference. It's all what you feel. And just line this up. There we go. All right, so the pinks are done. I'm just going to get rid of this stuff on my desk here. All right, and I am going to take a moment to glue down the top one, because that one is going to stay without any tearing, and it's going to go, it's going to give that 1/4 inch more or less all the way around. Okay, so that's how I'm going to glue that down. Just shift everything a little bit. Get my tape runner out. Do I need all this? Probably not. It's going to go in a a cover anyway. Oh, right. I have to leave the opening. There we go. All right. And then these guys kind of were up this way. That was in there somehow. And this was here. Okay. So now this one is my next one. I'm going to do a tear. This one's a little easier because I have a large amount of paper I can play with here. And I may end up cutting that down after the fact. If I don't need the whole width, to save some paper, and I can use that strip for something else. All right. So now this can slip under there. Oh, gotta take that 1/2 inch off. Well, let's do all the beiges first, and then we'll take the 1/2 inch off. And green and pink. Here's another beige. And this one I'm just making sure it's kind of looking like it's right side up. It is a scroll, not a scroll, a flourish. So it could be upside down or right side up, but I prefer the look of it in one particular direction. The wider the paper, obviously the much easier it is to rip. I'm going to trim those. Take that 1/2 inch off the bottom. So I'm just kind of playing with this, eyeballing to see what order I want it in. All right, and now we're going to play with the green. My greens are a little thin, so I have to be a little more careful. Oh, this is hard to tear. Alrighty, and that's that one. And again, just a little tearing on this one, and then we'll cut those edges or those sides. All right, now we're going to do the gluing down. I didn't do the purple because I want to make sure, first of all, how much of the depth I need if I need to add the purple in. So right now I'm just going to do a quick tack, just like in the center of each piece to figure out if I need to add another piece. And I'm trying to sort of keep it aligned. All right, so this is how it kind of finishes off. And I'm just going to check a couple of things here. I'm going to note how much overlap I have. So this I've already stuck down, which is unfortunate because I can actually take about an inch strip off there and use that for another project. So I'm just going to lift that out because you know I am the queen of frugal. So I'm going to take an inch off of this one with my bigger cutter. And I think I want this to show more, so I'm going to take an inch off of the lighter side. Make sure I line that up. All right. because it's all got adhesive in it. It sticks. I just get my, there we go. And now I have this piece for later. And that's going to move a few things around. So let me put this back on. Make sure I have adhesive everywhere I need. Oh, look at that. That worked out very well. And I feel this is just a little bit long. So I'm going to trim that down a little more. Even though you're working with scraps, you still want it to look right. Okay. Okay, I'm actually going to go to 11 3/8 because I want it to be a little bit punchier for a, so it's just a little tiny bit that has to come off there. And so 11 3/8. I'm going to center it from side to side. There we go. All right, then this guy goes over top, but it needs to be 11 3/8. So again, we are going to go 11 3/8. Just taking a tiny little bit off of everything. And that's, now I can stick this down more thoroughly. And then this way I don't have to add that purple in because that purple is different. It's all I have, and I could easily put it in, but it is a different sort of colorway, and it might just kind of jump out a little bit too much. All right, now this guy I can make a little bit bigger, and this guy I can make a little bit bigger. At least this one, you know that you haven't done it because it's longer than the other pieces. It's not like you can possibly put it all together and then find out that you don't have enough or that it's too long. And there we go. And there's our torn background. Now, it's very easy to figure out what you want to put on top of that. You can add flowers to this. You can add multitudes of different things. I'm looking at this, and what am I saying to myself? I'm not liking these two pieces together. So, interesting enough, we're going to go in and lift that. And while your adhesive is still sort of not completely dried or set, or I don't know what to call it, dried. It's not wet, but until it sort of stays permanently, you can go in and just pop it. As long as you haven't got too much. There we go. All right, so that's going to go up there. And I think we're going to bring this pink down. bit more. And then this can go there. Yeah, that feels a little bit better because the having this and that so close together, it kind of just didn't sit well with me. All right, so now, like I said, you can put any size of mats on there that you want. Let me get my mat pile here. I think I'm just going to go with something right in the center. So I will actually make a mat right now. So I'm going to grab myself a piece of white. Okay, so I have some white, and I'm going to grab some pink in here, but I'm going to go for something that's fairly substantial. I might have something already in here. Ooh, look at that. Now, if I have that on white, not going to be too much of amounts. Let's pretend like that white isn't there. I think I'm going to go a little bit softer on this pink. But that is a good size. So that is 5 by 5. And hopefully I have something that's a 5 by 5 that's a bit lighter. That's the same. That might work. That's considerably lighter. Let's see what else we have in here. Those were all too narrow. This is kind of a dusty rose. I'm pretty sure that's not going to work, but give it a try. So white with dusty rose. No, not my favorite color. White with light pink. That to me is just a little too pale. Alrighty, so now we're going to go in the bigger papers and try to get something a little bit more exciting. This is back to that dusty rose purpley color. No, thank you. Here's something. That's a little better. It's not fuchsia. And it kind of is on the orangey side, so it attaches with some of these orangier colors. I think we're going to go with that one. So this is going to go back in. And I want to do a 5 by 5 of this. And this is going to go in my little container. And this is going to go back in this container. Since I have it out, just get it popped away. Best to be organized in the moment. Nobody likes to do cleanup. All right, there's 5 by 5, and then that means I'm gonna be 5.5 by 5.5, I think. So I don't want to waste the entire side of this, because that could be a white piece that I could use again. So we're going to take the long piece. So that's 5.25. No, I'm going to go for 5.5. Really didn't matter. It's a very thin piece, but it is 12 inches, so it's useful. 5.5. And that goes back into the white bin. Alrighty. must have drawn something on the other side of this. It's got a line straight through it. Oh, I can't see that. I gotta line it all up. There we go. So that is going to go right dead center. I want it to be dead center, and then I can put some flowery bits on either side. Do I want to pop it? No, because all the other stuff is going to be pop dotted and three-dimensional, so you want to not overdo your three-dimensional stuff. And I'm eyeballing, maybe just slightly lower. So that looks square. A little too little there. There we go. All right, and then this will be the mat for my photo right here. And then I'll just simply either add flowers or a journal mat, maybe in the corner here, and it's ready to go with my scraps. So I'm loving that page. Very, very happy with how that turned out. And now let's move on to the second page. The second page has nothing to do with the first page. And these I just cut them from a piece of paper, literally. It had these on the back of it. The front was all little sayings. And I'm just going to put them out. I did arrange them so that if I put 5 across, there wouldn't be any of the same thing that way or the opposite way. So I did take some time to get that sorted. The only thing is, I'm going to start with these guys all with the beige going in the same direction, because then I am going to decide if I want to turn that. Oh, what happened there? Okay, we'll leave that out. So plain, pattern, plain, pattern, plain. So pattern, plain. See, I did that, and now it doesn't make a difference because I must have put them out of order. Pattern, plain. Too many browns. So this one needs a turquoise plain. Because I don't want to end up having all browns going right to the corner, you know what I mean? I don't want it to appear like that is the pattern. It does get complicated. And then we have a whole line of turquoise. It's like, what do you call that game? There's a game like this. Game I don't like. Because I'm having to mess with this problem. So that can go there, that can go there. I think no matter what, I'm going to end up with a problem. What if I switch this with this? No, I think we're going to go Oh, it's the problem when you're playing things. Okay, so I think I'm going to leave it there because I just can't get it to work out, and I don't want to add more of the brown in. The brown I want to keep to the side. All right, so what I need to do now is math, and that's the hard part. So let me get a piece of this out. So I have 12 inches wide and 12 inches long. Okay, I'm just going to put my notes over there. And I have, these I think are 2 inches each. Yep. So I have 2, 4, 6, 8. 8 inches that I'm going down, which leaves me 4 inches to divide. And then I have 1, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10 inches going across, which leaves me 2 inches to divide. Interesting. So I need a place for a title. So I think I'm going to focus on the division of the that's going this way versus this way. So whatever math I work out, but for what's happening between the squares, this way I'm also going to use this way, and that'll leave me a space at the bottom for a title. So that's 10 across. Now I want to leave a 1/2 inch, which gives me 1 inch I have to subtract from there. So that leaves me with 1 inch. And I have 1, 2, 3, 4 spots that I need to separate. So if I separate 1 inch by 4, that's 1/4 of an inch between squares. Got me? So that means I have to put my frame for this. Let's kind of move this down. I need to have it 1/2 inch this way and a 1/2 inch this way. So I'm just going to actually pencil that in very lightly. So there's a 1/2 inch this way. And where that is, there's a 1/2 inch that way. And I'm just going to go down and mark a 1/2 inch again, so I can get that corner in there. So I just put dots. You can't see them, but my dots are here, here, and here. So my first piece is going to be the most important piece. And I have to make sure that it is square and 2 inches. So it looks to me like it might be a little more. I just have to take off a little tiny bit there. I guess with 1/4 of an inch, I do have some play. Oh, the other thing I wanted to do before I went is, do I want to turn some of these in the opposite direction, which activates everything even a little more? Okay. So I'm going to call this up. Down, up, 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 down, up. Something went wrong there. So side up, 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 side up. Okay, there we go. So I think I'm going to do that, and it just kind of gives it a little more activity. So going back to this, I just trim this out to make sure it's 2 inches, and I'm going to get my, and I don't need a lot. Just the 4 corners is all I need. And we're going to make sure it touches all the dots. All right. And now, once I get my first row, it usually is much easier. So I need to do 1/4 inch before for the next one. All right, so I put my dots in there. I can use a smaller ruler, that will help. Let's get my little ruler. There it is. Okay, so now the second one is going to go right beside it. And I'm just going to make sure that everything is 2 inches. This is just a little more. Need to take off just a tiny bit more on this side. Okay, like literally really tiny. Okay, taping it down. Okay, now we're going 1/4 inch over from there. Don't want to have marks below. There we go. So side, up, side. Again, making sure everything is square. Ooh, this is almost short. Oh, as long as we make it square, you probably won't notice that much. Excuse me. Just make sure everything is touching. Yeah. Okay. And then this one is top down. This is very short as well. So I'm just going to make it square. So they are different sizes, which is inconvenient, but hopefully I can prevent that from being an issue. And I'm going to eyeball it. Yep, that's me eyeballing. Let's see how well I did. Oh, it's not bad. Could be much worse. All right, and this one I'm going to double check. That's 2. That's under 2. It's just a little under 2. And we're going to eyeball that again. Now, I notice that this side is slightly larger, and I'm noticing that these guys might be a bit too shy. So I'm going to move this over to that 1/2 inch point, and I'm just going to shift everything a tiny bit. And see if I can smooth everything out a tiny bit, because some of these are not quite 2 inches, which is why I'm having a bit of problems. And there we go, that's a little better. And I just want to see what's happening here. Make sure everything is lining up. This is a little too down. There we go. That is also a little bit down. There we go. So that top edge is now proper. And we're going to go down the side here. So we're making sure that our pieces are 2 inches, and they tend to be like a 1/16 of an inch too short. It's interesting. So again, I'm just going to make them as square as I can. So that's that way. This is top down, eyeballing the 1/4 inch. Okay, there we go. All put down nicely. Okay. So this reminds me of camping a little bit. Now, I do want to do something with these guys. Okay, I think I have an idea for that. All right, so I do have a whole bunch of stuff that has to do with camping and hiking and kayaking and stuff like that. So I've just like literally gone through the bag of stuff that is for my outdoors and pulled out a few things. So I'm loving these little icons, and I can just see the icons on top of some of these squares. You know, because they are travel icons. And in order for me to use these, I'm really going to have to put the whole page together. So this is going to be something that's going to take a few minutes more, because I need to figure out how many photos I want to put on here. All right, so let's get out. I'm getting out my I do want to put a 4x6, so let's get to the 4x6. I have all these things that I've pre-cut in the sizes of photos. So I'm going to get for sure one 4x6, a 4x6, and I think I'm going to go with two 3x4s. just because that would give us an odd number and allow us some space to just pull that out. 2 3x4s to make a little bit of a layout. And I don't think I'm going to put mats on these. I think I'm going to let them just live their own lives. Maybe kitty corner like that. I love this border because it brings in some of the colors that are on the, even though it's mountains, and we don't really have, well, we have mountains, but it's not really what's going on. I haven't pressed that down because I want to put some of this black, but the dark brown behind it. So I'm going to get my long scissors to do the trimming, and I'm going to trim along there. I think I want 3 of them. There's 1. There's 2. And I'm going to get 1 more. There we go. And there's number 3. And I want to sort of tuck them a little bit behind. I have no idea if this is going to be a left page or a right page. It really doesn't matter. So I'm going to tuck these guys behind, and then that'll leave a little spot for putting down a title. So let me just line these up nicely. And I'm literally just sticking them right underneath the sticker. And I'll put a little piece of adhesive there because I don't want that to pop up. And we're going to put that right along the bottom of the layout, leaving 1/4 inch because that's a common number that we've used in this layout. And pushing that right down. So I'm loving that. And then I'm going to get some washi that I've been using. Oop, it will come off. So I just got some random washi, and I'm going to stick down where these guys are going to go. And the washi has been used and used and used, so it's going to stick well, or not pick up the surface of the paper, because it's sticky enough to get the photos down, but not so sticky that it will ruin anything. And at this point, this is where I'm headed. Although, maybe I'll go under there. I want a title there. And I feel like The Great Outdoors or Explore More. Or I'm at home among the trees. Oh, there's just, the possibilities are endless, but everything is sort of vertical. I'm looking for something horizontal. Here's a little bit of a journal box. That's not bad. A backpack. Some random things. This was a national park that we were in, so let's maybe pull that out. There's a title that says National Parks. National Parks, Let's Get Lost, or Let's Get Lost national parks. Now these won't be white, so they look a little bit off right now, but they won't be white. And then, you know, just playing up these little icons that you see on signs when you're in national parks. I just kind of like the way they fit perfectly in those little spots. Don't think that would work. I am at home among the trees. That's kind of fun. Explore the great outdoors. That's kind of fun. Let's put you here, you there, you there. Oops, drop my stuff. Okay. Let's see. Bunches of, oh, this is the other thing I was interested in. So there's my photos. Let's pull a few things away. There are these really cool clear footprints. And so I thought I would add a few of these. Or do I even bother? No, maybe I won't do those. This is more like an introduction page. So I won't do more of those. What else do we have? So since I've got something in almost everything, I should probably look at putting something in everything. I have a fireplace. I don't need another fireplace. I have a tent. I could put the tent down there, or I could put the tent up there. That's kind of fun. I could maybe put that guy there. What else do I have in here? Kayak. We do go kayaking. Maybe I can put a kayak here. And then this guy can go over there and that guy can go down there. And what else? Maybe some of these guys on there, just to kind of give it a bit of fun. And I just need one other something. One other something. One other small something. I'm gonna go in here. What other small something? I have these great borders that are like wood and stuff, but I don't know. Oh, there's a frog on here. Frogs are my spirit animal. So I'm going to grab a frog out of here. There he is. So this guy needs to go right there, except he's going to lose his head. So I'm going to put the frog there, put the kayak under there. There we go. Okay, I'm liking it. we're going to keep with it. I'm going to put all of this aside. Don't need that anymore. And now I got to just stick a few things down. So the kayak is a sticker. The frog is a sticker. That's a sticker. That's a sticker. And the rest needs some adhesive. And I think these are shaped. They're a little bit 3D like. They've been embossed. So I think I'm going to use some glue just in the center of them. That's the outhouse. We go off-grid, and there isn't such thing as an outhouse. It's called a thunderbox, and it's kind of nasty. All right. Okay. I'm very happy with this, especially since we're getting ready for that time of year again, even though it's still winter. Okay, and I think we're done. I'm going to do some popping on these two guys, and this is where I'm going to write some information. These icons are really cute. Okay, this I'm going to put in flat because I don't know what I'm writing there yet. But I like its location behind the mountains there. Dog hair. That's not bad. Okay, so I have some. I'm going to put one single layer of thin pop dots on this guy here, which is the Let's Get Lost one. And he's going to go here. And then this one I'm just going to put 2 layers of pop dot. So I have thin pop dots with me. I could do a 2mm pop dot, or I can just double this up. So let me show you what I did. I just folded it over and it's made a 2mm out of a 1mm. So that's how I use up all my stuff. All right, and that will go just right over top of that. Oops, I'm going to stick that guy down. There we go. So he can even come just a tiny bit lower. And this guy can come a tiny bit lower. Okay, I'm loving it. That came together really quickly, and sometimes that happens. Sometimes it takes a while for me to figure things out. Awesome, so that's it for today. So we've got our camping photo with our pieces of cut up squares, and I mean I cut paper into squares. I should show you that it doesn't have to be pre-printed as squares. Like, I cut things into squares, and you can use the same idea with any kind of squares of colors that you have. This is just some I have to file. I have a big bag of them, and I just pull them out and pick the colors I want while I'm doing this kind of thing. These were part of a paper that was already coordinated in color, so I didn't have to do anything other than just cut them into squares. But you can use any squares to do that. And then we have what we did first. So our second piece, which is our camping page, and then our torn edged first image. And of course we're going to put a picture in there. Let's put something there now so it doesn't look so pink, since I have that. There's a 4x4 photo that can go in the center. And this would be awesome for like baby pictures. It could be used for spring. Anything that, you know, you would use those pale colors for. There we go. And as you can see the writing behind this because I use my scrap papers for putting these guys in case I don't have photos. And I will eventually fill them up when I'm doing my albums. So, there you go. If you enjoyed this video, feel free to share it with your friends. And please like and subscribe in the at the end of the video, underneath the video in YouTube. And we will see you next Thursday. Bye.